Next, I'm going to show you how to use the test builder function in Study Island. From your teacher homepage, click on Class Manager. Select your class. Go to Add Assignment. Click on Test Builder. Select Create Assignment. Select your test title, Fractions. We'll say it's a fractions test. And you can also add any additional information. On the next page, you will select the program. So I'm going to select 4th grade. And for my subject, I'm going to select math. And down here, I'm going to select my standards, my topics. So I'm going down to fractions. So here are all of my fraction standards. To view the standard, you click on this last icon here. It will show you that standard. To view the lesson, click on the L. It'll show you an example lesson or an example problem for that standard. And finally, to add questions, click on the little, looks like a Lego block with a plus sign. And your questions will now load. So you have assessment questions and practice questions. The practice questions are to learn and earn blue ribbons. I'm going to click on assessment questions. Once I click the plus sign, you can see example assessment questions. So let's say I want to add this question. I can add multiple instances of that question. So on this particular test, there will be 3 instances of this type of question. Simply click Add. And then I'm going to scroll down. This looks like a good question. I'm going to click Add. And finally, this looks like a good question. When you're done, click Save Selections. And you will notice next to my standard, it says 5 questions. I have 5 questions for equivalent fractions. I can do the same thing for adding and subtracting fractions or any of the other fraction standards. When you're finished, scroll down. You can save it to your library and exit, or you can create your assignment now. I want to create an assignment now. So now, it's just like my other assignments. I can select an assignment due date. I want this test to be completed by the 9th of October. I can select instructions for students. So if I want to remind students to complete this test independently or give students particular reminders about equivalent fractions, then I can add that to my instructions. And finally, I can choose to show a calculator or not. And at the very bottom, you can enable a scratch pad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Override School Preferences because this is kind of cool. If you want students to be able to have a scratch pad where they can work out their problems, you can click Yes. And you can also enable additional highlighters. When you're finished, click on the Next Students tab. Here you can select the students that you want to complete the test. If you want to select only particular students, like maybe your high group, then click on the blue plus sign, and you can select particular students. Otherwise, leave it at checked for. Leave this checked for all the students in your class. When you're finished, click Save and Exit, and that is how to build a test.